Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Javier Perez. You may also know me as JP2, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about songwriting. First of all, thank you for being here. If you're here, it means you're supporting me, you support my channel, and I really appreciate that. So please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Being stuck in a songwriting rut is probably the worst thing that can happen to any musician. That feeling where everything you write just doesn't feel right, or you're not even able to write anything at all. It's very frustrating, and it can lead you on a path where you can end up going away from your instrument or from music for a very long time. I have experienced that myself, and with time, I've been able to develop some techniques that help me stay always productive in terms of songwriting, and I want to share those tips with you. The first one is you have to admit that you're stuck. Some people, when they're stuck, they act like, oh, well, I'm just not feeling it. I'll get back on it tomorrow or something like that. And they brush it off, and then days, weeks, months go by, and it all of a sudden hits them that, oh my God, what is going on? If you feel like you're stuck in a rut musically, most likely you are. The biggest tip that I can give you, and the thing that has been my lifesaver when it comes to songwriting, is embrace technology. I know there's people out there that they prefer the purest route of just being able to sit there with your instrument and maybe a piece of paper and a pen and put stuff down. If that works for you, that's fine. For me, it worked back in the day, but right now, being able to embrace technology, being able to write whatever lyrics come to mind immediately on my phone or on my tablet, being able to record music at will with my computer at any time of the day, technology becomes a set of tools. I don't know that I would be able to write music today if I wasn't fully immersed with current music technology. So once you have embraced technology, once you have figured out your DAW of choice or your phone app or tablet app of choice or whatever, the next thing is that you actually have to work with what's familiar. And by that, I mean, what is your main instrument? What is your strong suit? That is what you actually want to work with. There are people that when they get stuck in a rut, they actually do a complete 180 and they go in a different direction and they try new stuff, and that may work for some people. But when it comes to getting back into what you do best, the best way to do that is with the tools that you are best at. So if you're a guitarist, stick to that guitar. If you're a piano player, stick to that piano. Being stuck in a rut is, to me, is not the time when you're trying to go ahead and experiment to try to see what else is out there, because you're still you're still going to be able to eventually get to a point where you write something different or you go in different directions. But what you're trying to do is to kickstart what's actually moving your brain when it comes to lyrics, music, whatever, and familiarity helps a lot with that. Myself, I am a guitarist first. So I sit down with the guitar to write. It's usually the electric guitar because just the ergonomics of it, I'm just more comfortable with the smaller body of an electric guitar versus an acoustic. But there are times that as the idea comes to mind, I have to switch to the acoustic because I can hear the sound that I'm going for. Okay, so up until now, you figure out that you're stuck in a rut. You have decided to embrace technology. You have figured out what is your strong suit and what you're going to stick with so that you can get back on it. The next tip after that would be use templates. Working with templates is going to make your life so much easier down the line because you will always be able to go back to that sense of familiarity that you get with that instrument that you're playing or something on the technology side. If you have a specific application for writing down your lyrics, make sure that you set up certain spots on your template where you have your choruses, your verses, and just different ideas, color coding for whatever you're using as far as helping you with visuals of what's going to be what part of the song. If you're recording an instrument, make sure that you set up a template so that you can always go back and you plug in your guitar, bass, keyboard, whatever, and you're always going to be able to get that sound that is familiar to you, those levels that are important, that are familiar to you, the overall EQ of the session that you're writing the song in, that all of it's going to feel familiar, and it's going to get you back to feeling like you got this. Understand that what you're putting down on the template may not be the final idea that you're going to end up with, but being able to have the same baseline for every single idea helps you with productivity. The next tip is record everything, save everything, write down everything. Being stuck in a rut is definitely the wrong time for you to throw away any ideas. Everything that you are making yourself do during this process has some value, whether it's a lesson learned on what you're not going to do later on, or whether it is quite a few gems that you may end up developing down the road. So don't get rid of anything that you're doing during this process until you have had time to sit back and revisit it. The next tip is set up a time, walk away, and come back. You can't get back into a creative process by just sitting there and waiting for stuff to happen. The best thing that you can do at this time is have some sort of structure. By setting up time in which you're going to work on something, you are forcing your creative mind to activate itself and get back on track. By walking away and coming back later, you are allowing your mind and your heart to be able to look at the product that you just put down in a completely different way, with a different lens, or with a completely different sound than what you thought it had when you actually did it the first time. And the final tip will be, don't stop. Unfortunately, there is no set time of how long this process is going to get to be able to get you out of a songwriting rut. It could take a few days, it could take a few weeks, it may take a few months. It all depends on the level of music that you're trying to create. Most of the stuff that I've been creating lately is the songs that I create for my gear reviews. In order to be able to do that efficiently, I've had to set up certain parameters according to all the tips that I just gave you, where I am setting up time, I am putting down every single idea that I can with that instrument while I'm at it. I stop, I walk away, and then I come back and I revisit it. And 9 times out of 10, almost everything that came out the first time, because I keep myself in that creative mind, I am able to use later on with the songs that you end up hearing in my reviews. And that's it. Those are my tips for getting out of a songwriting rut. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you find all of this information good, if you have any other tips that you want to share with me and with everybody else in the comments, by all means, go ahead. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this one, then don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time.